There are many different consequences of the Peloponnesian War, and we are not able to address all of them in this short video. Therefore, we prefer to emphasize only some of the most important effects in history which were caused by direct aftermath of the Peloponnesian War. Ancient era, full of many battles, wars and blood, but no one as interesting as Peloponnesian War. Peloponnesian War is important to understand events that occurred in the ancient era and history integrity. Obviously, Peloponnesian War was civil war. Bandits, looters plundered all Greece, and with states' armies it became bigger dimensions. After the most dangerous challenge that Persians' invasion to Greece, sense of triumph meant to unify Greeks. However, 40 years passed since Greeks' victories over the Persians. It should have been starting their golden age, but instead they squabbled among themselves for over the 27 years. And what were the effects of this struggle? What was the main reason of this war? We can say it easily. It depended on the ambition of Athens and wrath of Sparta. The attitudes of the both sides made a war in Greece. Athens had gotten arrogance because they took in hand of victory of Persian wars. Athens considered the Delian League to have gotten more influence against Persians, but Athens turned the league they formed into an empire under their control. Conversely, Spartans were like a time bomb. They believed that a sword is more effective than words to solve a problem. They had got a professional army to fight and don't need diplomats for reconciliation. In the face of Athenian hegemony, Sparta has reformed Peloponnesian League with Corinthos and smaller Boeotian leagues of cities. The overall effect of the war was a diminishing power of Athens. After surrendering to Sparta because of the food shortage and spreading plague in 404 BC, Athenian Empire was collapsed. Democracy was overthrown and was replaced by oligarchy, as Spartans wished, and hence, in the absence of Athenian power, Sparta became the dominant power of Greece and tried to break all the new concepts that Athens introduced, such as constructing walls along the cities. The collapse of Athenian Empire was also a representation of the end of the golden age of the ancient Greek, because the prosperity and wealth brought by Athenians was finished. Spartans wanted to be sure that Athens is never going to be so powerful again and become a threat against the independence of Sparta and its allies anymore. After restoring Athens as they wished, they also established Thebes, which were located at the north of Athens, to check and balance the Athenian power. Thebes were a historical rival city of Athens in the region. They supported Persians in the second invasion of Persia. Due to that support, they were distracted by a joint league of Greeks against Persia in 479 BC. After the re-establishment by Sparta, they arranged successful attacks on joint enemies. Thebes wanted to annex the city-states that they desired, but Sparta didn't agree with them. Consequently, Thebes broke their alliance, which led to the occurrence of war between the Thebes, Sparta, and its allies. This resulted in the victory of Thebes, who were backed by Persians during the war, and they expanded their boundaries. They eventually became the dominant power of Greece and tried to consolidate their power. However, it did not last long and they failed to maintain their dominance. Subjugated states refused to obey, and internal conflicts led to the end of the dominant rule of the Thebes in the region. Philip II of Macedonia, who trained and lived in the lands of Thebes, knew that Thebes' dominance was the result of their ability in military tactics. He planned to adjust these facts to his army to achieve his goals. Being an expert in strategy, he knew that he could get all of the Greek states under his dominance with well diplomacy and a glorious army. He assembled his well-trained army with famous flanks, which gave great advantage over the enemies with their long-shaped spears, which also requires high military discipline among the soldiers. After the long-time wars, Sparta and Athens were weakened, and this led to a power gap in the Lower Greece. Hence, he expanded his kingdom by conquering certain city-states because there is no power in Greece to be against his expansion. He was also able to expand his kingdom, arranging diplomatic attachment with other states, such as his royal marriage with Olympias of Epirus, who gave birth to Alexander I of Macedon. Eventually, he was the dominant ruler of the entire Greece and captured all of the city-states except Sparta, which became a subject in the reign of Alexander afterwards. But his vision of power was further than Greece. He wanted to take revenge of the past from Persians and wanted to start a campaign against the East. After consolidating his power in Greece, he founded a Greek league named Corinth League, which represented whole Greeks. Then he assembled a great army, which was well trained and equipped better to attack on Persia. This was his final goal. However, he was assassinated by one of his bodyguards in 336 BC before the campaign. Assassination of the Philip II of Macedon was one of the most controversial topics in the study of history. Ancient historians even still are not able to tell why he was killed by one of his 7 bodyguards. After the death of the Philip II, an era ended, but the new one, which was going to affect the whole world, not only a region, was about to begin.